What is up, everyone? I am the deacon. This is Lantern Ministry. Just wanted to talk a little bit on this Saturday afternoon about the honeymoon. The honeymoon. We are all familiar with that word, the honeymoon period. And I was just thinking, I haven't been really feeling too well lately. It's hard to kind of sit right now. Got something going on with the kidney. Yay. But I am still here with yous, for yous, and we will keep this thing going. I was thinking, how many of us, when we were younger and we were just jumping into like the workforce, we were all amped out, we were pumped up, we started applying for these jobs and, we were very ambitious. And then when we finally got that phone call or that interview, for that job that you applied to, for most of us, we were like thrilled. We were pumped up, that honeymoon period began, where you show up to work and you feel super enthusiastic and you could see the ladder, very clearly you could see the ladder and that you could do this and work hard and you can move to the next level and then the next level. Most of us I believe were like that. I know I was, especially when I was younger. We were super ambitious. And we were, thrilled and we were overly joyed. I remember it was very, very early. It was early in my faith. And I was very heavy into, my prayer life and reading and getting to know Jesus. And the Lord bless me with this with this very just joyful, he grabbed me with his joy and his peace and his comfort, and I was on like cloud nine. Literally nothing bothered me. I know I've talked about that in previous videos. Nothing seemed to get to me. Nothing seemed to bother me. It was like there was a wall put up. And I remember I was doing volunteer work. And I just remember, telling my Aunt Jean, how I felt inside and this joy. It was so fulfilling. And she said, get ready, Dan. And I will, get ready for what? The work. This honeymoon period will wear off. And I remember I was like, no, never. This will never go away. This will never die down, because I just didn't believe that it would. I genuinely thought I thought that being, I felt very close to God, that he was just grabbed me and just pulled me in and pulled me under his cloak, and that's just where I would remain. And I didn't really realize, and it's almost like the bird in the nest, the baby bird in the nest. And I'm not comparing the two to be, this is what it is, but it's a comparison how the mother bird will, build, for the baby, bring food and keep the baby warm and the baby bird warm, comfort it. But the time will come where that baby bird's got to go out in the world. Baby bird's got to get out there and he's got to put in the work. sink or swim. And, that's kind of what I feel, that life is, there's so many experiences throughout our life of these honeymoon periods. Where we're feeling really up, and, the older I get, the more I realize is that our faith is truly tested in the difficult times. It's one thing to feel good, to have a feeling inside when you're doing good, when things are going really smooth. And again, I talked about this in my last video, feelings, they go up and down like a puppet on strings. It's one thing, when we are feeling on top and we could trust in Jesus and cling to Jesus when we feel like we are with him and we are walking with him and we are right in it and everything is fulfilled within us and we feel like we are just like spiritually glowing. But it's a whole nother ball game when we are out here and you are kind of down in the dumps from, financial issues, health issues, marital struggles, struggling to find purpose in life. There are, that's when our faith can become tested. Because you are in it. You are in it. And sometimes it is not easy one bit. Like, for example, even this, my channel here, Lantern Ministry. I love being on here. I love being with all of yous. I will not stop being here with yous. I don't know if you've noticed. I've kind of been switching things around a little bit. I've been posting on TikTok. I've been posting on YouTube as shorts. I've been posting on here because I was having issues tagging people in my videos. I don't know if that even corrected. I guess we'll find out today. If not, that's fine too. But even with this, I have been going through one health issue after another. When one leaves, one seems to be popping in. Now I got something going on with my lower back area, kidney area. I believe it is kidney. I've had kidney issues before, and it's kind of painful even right now. So I sit there and I'm like, man, why does it got to be so difficult? Why does this got to be always like this? I actually just told my wife that today. I was like, if it ain't one thing, it's the next. It's the next. And at times it gets hard and it gets frustrating, And I just keep saying, Lord, please give me the strength. Give me the strength I need and the grace I need to continue, keep plugging at it no matter how hard it may get and feel at times. Because sometimes it feels very difficult. And I've talked about this. I look ahead too much sometimes and I look at kind of the situation and the things that I got ahead of me, and then I realize they're going to be very difficult. And sorry, I'm sweating. They're going to be very difficult, strenuous at times. It's going to take a lot out of you, And then the Lord keeps reminding me of the preparation, the preparedness, the spiritual preparedness for the things that are going to occur. The physical, the physical strength I'm going to need for the things that are going to happen. And the Lord just constantly showing me that he is still there. But he's also showing me that I'm in the storm. My feet are on the water. And at times I'm not focused completely in on him. And what's happening is you start to sink into the water. You start to sink into your thoughts and your depressions and your stresses and your pain. You start to sink into it. And the Lord keeps reaching out and telling me to trust him. Take his hand and you will walk on the waters with him. And I'm just on here, trying to relay that because I truly believe that in my heart. I look at my life and say, if it wasn't for him in these moments, I would have been drowned a long time ago, underwater, without air. The Lord has just shown me, yes, that honeymoon period, it wears off. But he don't. His word doesn't wear off. His promises do not wear off. His word does not change. We may change things, on our own as, mankind and human beings. We change things. The Lord does not change. What he says, he means. And his promises are forever. His love is forever. His forgiveness is forever and for everyone. God is always good. And he constantly is reminding me of that. Like, look, I'm here. I understand what you're going through. I see your struggles, your pains, all the different troubles that you see, I already see. Trust me. Grab onto my hand and I will pull you from these waters. When I think of that, that image of Jesus reaching down in the water, and pulling his brother up out of the water when he was losing his faith and his trust. And Jesus grabbed him and, stand back up. Like, it pulls us out of those slumps. It's not always going to be this honeymoon. Think about it, okay? Here, relationship. 90% of us, maybe probably 100% of us, adults at least, have been in relationships. When you first get into a relationship, there's this abundance of like this give and take of this love, and you're always trying to do everything to impress one another and just always be that guy or that girl, with that glow in your eye. But when you get deeper into relationships, there are struggles in marriages, in just relationships in general. There are problems, there are struggles that will happen. I remember a long time ago, a priest told me, if you are not struggling in your relationship, if you do not struggle in a relationship, and this video is not about a bad relationship, I do not have a bad relationship with my wife, but if you do not struggle, and there are no arguments, there's something wrong. There's something, and I believe that, because it wouldn't make sense that there's not. But it goes with that honeymoon period. That in the beginning, everything is just kind of like peachy, and it's like, man, it's, you kind of see the whole rainbow, you know what I mean? And it's, but in the relationship, there's going to be issues, troubles, problems, all these different things will occur. And you are going to have to link up, and you are going to have to be tag team partners throughout life and fight hard. That's life. It comes with our jobs. At first, we're so excited, and then you got to realize there's a grind. There is a grind to keep going. And in your spiritual life, there is a grind. You gotta get to work, because like anything, you have to put in the work. You have to put it in. It's so important, especially for your spiritual health, to put the work in. We can't expect just that, I'm going to pray and then everything is just going to become different. You may go through that honeymoon phase where you're just feeling like, wow, like nothing wrong can go down, or I'll always be in this state of peace and this state of grace, and that is you will be tested. You will be tested through it, throughout. It's not going to be easy. The road is not easy, but it's doable. We can do it. The honeymoon period will end. The fight will begin. And you got to fight. I kind of touched base on this recently. I think it was on a YouTube short, tie up those boots. The war wages. It's not going to always be, butterflies and rainbows when it comes to your spiritual life or your work life or your marriage or raising children or building a home. None of it. It all makes sense and it's all connected. These life lessons, they're with us. In our spiritual life, the most important part of our existence here is our souls, our spirit inside, to draw close to Jesus here and to draw as many to him as possible. God is always good. We got to keep that in mind always, even though we may not be feeling so hot at times. We got to remember that he is always good. And he has got us. Even when the honeymoon may wear off, he is still there. He does not wear off. I am the deacon. This is Lantern Ministry. God bless each and every one of yous. I'm hoping on my next video, I feel a little bit better. It's been a long stretch, but we're continuing to get the message out. God bless all of yous. I'm out.